Hello, everybody.
Larry, thank you very much. The last time the L.A. Chargers played a home game was December 18th, 1960. But they've got one here as we welcome you to the StubHub Center in Carson. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Chargers. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Rivers now on second down. And that's complete. It's Sims. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. Just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. Drops it off to Ajayi. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane. I mean, he is the big dot on that screen that they're looking at and saying, how in the heck do we stop him? They're going to try a bunch of different things, different people covering him, but right now he's locked in and is in sync with his quarterback.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he rifles one incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 3rd and 5. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. They'll drop to throw. And he finds Julius Thomas. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming.
And when you don't pick up the necessary yardage in that situation, sometimes it starts to put a little doubt in the play caller's mind about what he's going to run on the next play. Because most of them, they thought they were going to pick it up right then and there. Now they've got to adjust what they're doing, adjust what they're thinking, and maybe they go away from what they originally thought.
The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now back to throw. And throw right side complete to Parker. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Back to throw here. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down.
Illegal blocking the ball. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nifty move there on the run, but ultimately brought down at the 25. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Shift together here from the D-line. 2nd down, Rivers. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 38-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and short yardage, Rivers. And this is brought in by Pryor. And he's got the first down. as he's up to the 45-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game.
And no escaping this time as he'll go. Go down. They got him for a sack. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40. And he'll give it here to his running back, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. From the gun, Rivers. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Play fake, Rivers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
And Stills over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Looking to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're in. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the 1st. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Touchdown, Miami. Now the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Off the play fake here, Rivers. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Kiko Alonso. Coming in from his outside linebacker spot, he buries him for a loss of 10 or 11. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Landry now on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out come the Dolphins now. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Open now to get back in the end zone on his 4th possession. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
A gain of 7, and they pick up the 1st. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack.
Here we go now. Green.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Look at the spin. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On play action, Rivers. Sammy Coates has it complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday. 5th grade, Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down. To go here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Rivers to throw it. And it is caught at the 7-yard line. And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball. I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Offense looks to punch it in here from the 1 on 2nd and goal. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. He tried to get the nose of the football across to no avail, and now it's 3rd and goal. On 3rd and 1, here's Rivers. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. They're going to look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. They'll look to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have broken our tie as they take the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Check 31, check 31. Delta!
They go play action here on first down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Rivers now on second down. Over the middle, complete. It's Chambers. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does, where a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Give them 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
Here we go now.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And over the middle, this is Parker. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On play action, they'll throw. They'll rifle this one deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll get it down deep into Los Angeles territory. And that one results in 35 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. If you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Looking to throw on second down. Rivers brought in by Coates. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now Rivers. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Touchdown, LA! A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this.
Set. Green 39. No, check.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Melvin Ingram, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
That's his second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a third and about 5.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he is going to have the first down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. 8 yards there, getting him out of danger. It's a first down.
It's amazing how much advice defensive players get on third down. You hear the bench screaming out, watch the draw, watch the screen, watch the pass here. Very rarely do they reference watching the fullback, and he slipped through and picked up a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Kiko Alonso able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive, and when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
He finds Coates complete, and he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And now a high kick trying to pin them back. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your court? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trey Boston, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kiko Alonso. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Second down, Rivers. Henry's got it out on the left side. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throw left side complete. It's Sims. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line.
On 1st and 10, Rivers throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Again, it's Rivers. Over the middle, here to Coates. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
To throw is Rivers. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On second down, it's Drake. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
They'll set up to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Dolphins on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll drop the throw. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Kyle Emanuel, the outside linebacker, drops him for a loss of 6. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game-tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account the game situation, where we are, all those things?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Quentin Coples in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On the toss play, this is Drake fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Let's go.
Back to throw here. And he finds Julius Thomas. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. And got his tight end, Duarte. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Play clock winding down. On first down, Drake. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Right back to Drake. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Let's go. Blue landed. Blue landed. Back there, Leopard. Leopard.
On 1st and goal, Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins have broken our tie as they take the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Raekwon McMillan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers, and Rivers after the sack. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. They've gone to the 4th up in Seattle, and it was the Seahawks who were able to take home the victory there. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Russell Wilson, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So instead of the incredibly obvious choice of trying to punt it out near midfield, now they left their defense with no margin for error.
No, 0. And I don't care how much confidence you have in your defense. I don't care if you say, hey, I'm going to be aggressive because those guys can pick me up. You really put them in an impossible situation because at the least, you're giving up 3 in that situation, right? So I would have punted the ball out of there and given them a little bit of a cushion.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
No, check. Patriot. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And here now, it's 2nd and goal, ball on the 7-yard line. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
Yeah, they've thrown for 3 touchdown passes. Now here, I think they probably go back. Oh, no, he lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
We're going into the final play of this game. They knew that they needed some